reports the Giants want at least 2 first-round picks for Odell Beckham Jr. Despite that, Giants co-owner John Mara said Odell is not on the trading block, and the Giants GM said, quote, "You don't quit on talent." The New York Daily News also reported that Odell spoke to 2 Rams players and told them he wants to go to L.A. Joined by Fox NFL analyst Mark Schlereth. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How's this going to play out between Odell and the Giants?
You know what? I mean, it's so funny. He's not for trade, but we want two first round. Right? Like, hey, we're not trying to actively trade him, but let's throw this out here and see if we get any takers. And I don't believe anybody's going to give 2 first rounders for Odell, but he's certainly out there. There's certainly there. I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire. So people are listening. Like the Giants are listening, and I look at it from Dave Gettleman. What I know of Dave Gettleman as a general manager, he is a guy that has always been an inside-out guy. I want to build my lines of scrimmage. That's how you win football in this day and age. Remember, he let go of arguably one of the best corners in football in Carolina and said, you know what? We really need to focus on the interior of our defense. We need to focus on the front 7 of our defense. And when you look at the New York Giants, and I called one of their games late in the season, bereft of talent at multiple positions. Offensive line's an issue. Running back is an issue. You know, secondary wide receiver is an issue. Linebacking core is an issue. Defensive line and pass rusher right now, because they got rid of a couple of them, JPP being one of them, is an issue. So this team is in full rebuilding mode, and if you can get value for a guy who, frankly, let's face it, man, one of the most talented guys that we've ever seen come into this league, if you can get great value for him, and you've got that many holes to fill, and you're only winning under 50% of your games with him playing, why would you not make that move to bolster your roster? And so that's what I think they're going to do. I think eventually you're going to see him out of New York Giants uniform and into somebody else's.
I agree with you. I didn't believe that the Giants weren't shopping him. They are. So whatever the team tells you they're not doing, they're probably doing the opposite of what they're telling you.
Right.
I think Odell understands that. I just think that John Mara kind of laid it out that he was tired of talking about Odell and Odell not playing football. He's tired. When I talk about Odell playing football, I'm talking about his behavior. Why can't I just talk about what an outstanding game that he had and we won the game? Why can't it just be that? Well, for whatever reason, it's never been just that. And I fought the Giants to some degree because he was so immensely talented, they let a lot of things slide. And what happens when things slide and the guy becomes really, really good? It's hard to correct him once he gets to a status that, like, what? Later for y'all. And I believe he will be better served with the Rams because they have more to offer. They have a better quarterback at this juncture. They have a better running back, better offensive line. Their defense, I believe, will be better, which will give the offense an opportunity to get the ball back, and Odell an opportunity to do what he does, which is catch the football, put the ball in the end zone. But you must understand, while you might be receiving an immensely talented guy, you must understand what he is, and is money ultimately going to make him happy? I don't believe it is. I don't. So just know what you're getting, and so when he starts acting up on your watch, don't be surprised. Well, I don't know where this came from. You know where it came from. Just know what you're getting.
So if the Hollywood Rams land Odell Beckham Jr., which I believe they will, probably just before the night of the draft,
Okay.
I'm leaning toward picking them to win it all next year because I think they are going for broke. I think it's a team right on the verge, a team in need of Odell Beckham Jr. They lost Sammy Watkins, obviously, in free agency, and Odell is a better Sammy Watkins. And I believe the Rams are in the power position here because they can offer Odell 3 things nobody else can. They can offer Hollywood and obviously the west side of Los Angeles that he loves. So he will be happy here.
Correct.
He is a Hollywood kind of guy, and he spends much of his offseason here. They can offer what last year was the highest scoring offense in all of football. And they got a young quarterback and a young running back and a young possession receiver in Cooper Kupp.
Good offensive line.
And a pretty good offensive line and a just turned 32-year-old head coach who thinks way outside the box. And Odell will love all of the above.
Yes.
And then finally, he's going to love a defense that is going for broke with Sue, Talib, Marcus Peters. They got firepower. They got issue players. They got all kinds of hard to coach players, and Odell would be maybe
right
the atom bomb right on top of all that. But the point is, I love what this team is doing because it's just saying the window's about that open right now. Before we have to pay anybody, let's just go for the throat.
Right.
And this is all on hair trigger to go right over the top into the Super Bowl if you can land Odell. And again, I think they could get him for just the 23rd overall pick. That's all I think, because he's a problem for anybody else because he's not going to want to go anywhere except here. He's already made it clear through Rams players. He wants to play in Hollywood for this team.
Well, once you played in New York, is there any other place that you can't play other
this
than
would
LA?
be it.
You make all those things are very viable points. And the whole chemistry aspect of putting a professional sports team together is incredibly important. And so this could be one of those things that does exactly what you say, bam, right to the Super Bowl, or just absolutely implode and be the worst thing ever.
It could.
But here's the thing. You talk about Sue on a one-year deal, on a one-year prove-it deal. I think Sue's 32 years old. He's already been paid as a first-rounder. He got the huge contract from Miami. He's getting a one-year, $14 million deal on a prove-it deal. He's in line to get one more big contract if he produces. So are you going to be on your best behavior? You know, are you going to be a guy and I think the same thing could be said for Odell Beckham Jr., who's got, is still on that rookie contract deal. Like, if he came in there and said, hey, listen, we're going to pay you. Right now, we're dealing with, we got to get Aaron Donald done. We got to get some other things done. So, you know what? Show us, the kind of player you're going to be here. So there are some things that are really, really intriguing about that.
There are lots of ways to have Super Bowl chemistry. You guys in Denver had solid veteran chemistry, right?
Yes.
You had a Romanowski issue, but you handled it internally, and it was actually the flashpoint from which you rose, right?
Yep.
And this could be volatile chemistry, but sometimes it works. It'll kind of hang just together where it creates momentum. And you got a lot of bad actors here, but if they all sort of say, hey, we can do this, because they all have one common goal. Like Odell needs a ring to validate himself.
The thing is, what us, Skip, is that we didn't bring, when this team together in 97 and 98, we won the Super Bowl. We brought in small guys. We didn't bring in no big name guy, that had this big persona or anything. But we brought guys in, and our core leadership was already there. Myself and Stink and Rod and John. And then you had on the offensive side, you had Atwater and Crockett and Tyrone. So we had guys that were.
That's mental toughness.
So it would have been interesting if we would have brought a big name in there, because you remember in '99 we brought Dale Carter in.
Yeah, it didn't really work.
Okay. Did you have draft picks who came in and shook it up?
No, because we picked it late in the draft.
That's right.
We got Marcus Nash and I don't even remember. I don't remember Snake.
Hey, you put Odell with the Hollywood Rams. This will be the biggest story in pro football this year. It'll just be mushroom cloud of coverage. This will be the team to watch. This will be must see.
Again, if a veteran quarterback in Eli Manning, who had 2 world championships, can't handle him, how's your young quarterback in Jared Goff going to be able to handle him?
Maybe we'll relate to him more.
Maybe. I'll tell you one thing. One of the most impressive people I talked to all last season, and far and away, and it wasn't close, was Sean McVay.
Really?
I'm telling you, like, I got done having a conversation in a game I called of the Rams with Sean McVay, and I thought to myself, you're a loser. You've done nothing with your life. I was like, that dude is impressive, man. Yeah. He is impressive.
What was it? Is it his grandfather was the San Francisco McVay, the GM? So he's got bloodlines to it.
The thing is that Odell plays a dependent position, and they feel they need to get 15 balls per game. Skip, we've seen Antonio Brown catch 10 balls, then the next game he catch 4, he blows up, and then Ben throws 5 interceptions trying to get him.
Yeah, it's not unheard of to have a problem player move to another team and then be successful there. Sometimes you just need a change of environment.
And sometimes that problem player moves to another team.
There's a problem there. Sometimes it also can be kind of humbling to have a franchise move on from you. If they can't handle you. So
sometimes
you get motivated.
Sometimes you know what? A change is just exactly what
you need.
You need to get away from the people They keep dragging you into whatever it is they're dragging you into, and the decisions you make. And sometimes it's just good to get away.
Yeah.
Well, change is inevitable. Growth is optional. Choose wisely.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't say,
Nope.
Was that
Did your
I
glasses come up
don't
with that?
know who that. I'm just somebody. I'm just
Seriously,
thinking.
what personality were they going to bring into Denver anyway? They already had Big Play Shea.
Oh, you know.
Who's going to compete with that?
Tell a few jokes here, they'll keep blow Sting off the line. Me and Sting used to race and get off trees.
Well, I
Even though he lined up 3 yards offside.
Wait,
About 7 yards outside.
Stink ran that locker room, right?
The linemen, they stick together. They eat together. They ran together.
Herd of cattle.
Yeah. And everybody, they walk out to the locker room together, walk out to the field together. They walk in together. They did everything together. But, I kept them loose, though.
Mark, thanks for joining
Yes,
us.
absolutely.
LeBron tied a record last night, but does it mean anything? We'll discuss that next.